morning to both welcome you back to actually having parties at 255 Elizabeth Street. Great to see you all. This is the most Navitas people I've seen. I started with the organisation in August last year, so I'm a COVID Navitas baby. Have we got any other COVID Navitas babies here? Well, make sure you get out there and actually say hello. We've all got our name tags on, so we can do that easily. So please take the time to reconnect with each other, for those you know, and also make some new friends today. That'd be fantastic. But today we are here to talk about International Women's Day. Yay! Which you've got, yay! With gender being one of the dimensions, of course, of our new Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Initiative. And for those of you who may have missed it on the way through, in November last year, Scott Jones, who's our Group CEO, launched the initiative on an all-employee webinar. And if you missed it, it is available on SharePoint. And if you can't find SharePoint, talk to somebody who you work with and see if they can help you figure that out. But yes, diversity is not only about gender, obviously, it's also about age, and it's about caring responsibilities, it's about cultural heritage, it's about religion, it's about LGBTQIA+ status. And if you take it to its nth degree, it also covers off things about our professions, the experiences we've had, who we are. In fact, on the 13th of April this year, I want you all to get involved in our Diversity, Equity and Inclusion survey. For the first time, we're doing the 5,500 employees for Navitas globally. We're asking you to tell us, who are you? We know who you turn up as when you come into the office, but actually, who is Navitas? Who do we need to make sure is being represented? Who do we need to make sure is being included and heard and valued? How do we actually make sure that we do a better job of engaging and getting all of our people to bring their whole selves to work? So 13th of April, you'll start to see some communications coming out about it. It will take a bit longer than your average survey, so it will take sort of maybe 15 minutes. But it's important we get that depth. It's important we actually ask the range of questions to help us understand the range of dimensions. Okay, you also might have seen recently that you've got an opportunity of getting involved in diversity, equity and inclusion with your organisation. And there's, again, on SharePoint, maybe on Yammer, there's an opportunity for you to say this, I'd like to get involved. I'd like to be a member of the committee. Or, I don't actually know much about it, but it's really interesting and I'd like to be involved some way. And wherever you are on that, please get in there and let us know so that we know we can actually reach out to you. This is not an HR initiative. It just so happens that I'm part of the initiative. It's actually a business initiative and it's about you. So let's get involved and see how we can actually all contribute together. But International Women's Day, okay, we're a couple of days late, but it's Team Me. Why are we still talking about gender? I hear many of you say, or I certainly hear it in the press. Why are we still talking about gender? You got the vote in 1902. In fact, in 1966, it became possible that if you were married and a woman, you could still work. In 1974, it became illegal to actually pay somebody a different rate of pay because they were a woman. So surely we've sorted it out by now. Actually, in 1974, women's pay went up by 30% on average. So we were sort of turning up for over a day every week, free of charge. Woo. But even today, as an average across Australia, women earn 14% less than men. That's on average across Australia, $253 per week. Now I'm not talking about Navitas, I'm talking about across Australia. It doesn't smell right to me. And in fact, our progress in terms of women's equity has slowed. If we keep going at the same rate we are now in terms of trying to achieve equity for women, it's going to take us about 99.8 years. I may not be around for that. So if we need to make that change, we actually have to be a bit more intentional about it. And I'm not talking about changing things overnight. Obviously can't do that. But we can start that journey. Diversity, equity, and inclusion within Navitas is about starting the journey, not just for women, but for diversity across the organisation. So, you will have heard recently that there's been also a lot of noise happening in the media in Australia about consent, about assault, about a whole range of things. Grace Tame and her story as Australian of the Year, all incredibly powerful. The thing that I take out of that is that each one of them is saying, actually, it's time for us to use our voice. Not just women, it's time for all of us to use our voice. If this is the place that we want to work, then this is the place that we want to make sure that we're all feeling included, we all feel like we belong, we all feel like we have a voice. And if you see something, if you hear something, if you experience something, and it doesn't feel, look, smell right, it's important we have our voice to say, actually, that's not okay. And either take it up with the individual, take it up with your manager, talk to your HR representative, however it is. There's ways that are actually articulated in our values in action statement, and I encourage you to get familiar with that. It's important that each of us makes a contribution to Navitas as the place that we want to work. So, today, celebrating incredible women. Look at you all. And all of the incredible men who help us actually be incredible women. It's also about actually reconnecting. It's about saying this is actually a great place to be. Really enjoying actually coming out of the COVID closet and meeting you all. I encourage you to eat the food, which is still here, nicely packaged. And thank you to Sylvia and the social committee for making it. And I also encourage you to use these posters. And let's get some photos that show Western Australia that we're actually better than they are. You'll see that with each of them there's an I statement on the front and a we statement on the back for team stuff. So please get out there, have some photos, have some fun, send your photos through to Sylvia, and we'll actually make a better post than they did in Perth. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you all. Happy International Women's Day.